Imagine this. The temperature plunges below freezing. Your heart enters an extended pause, beating so slowly it becomes almost undetectable. Your breathing ceases. Ice begins to form throughout your body. For any ordinary creature, this would be the end. But what if it was only the beginning? Welcome to Animal Lover Planet, where we celebrate the extraordinary resilience of life on Earth. Today, we uncover one of nature's most astonishing survival strategies: cryobiosis, the ability of certain animals to freeze solid and return to life when spring arrives. In the frozen forests of North America, from the southern edges of Georgia to the wilds of Alaska, a small amphibian performs a miracle every winter. The wood frog, Lithobates sylvaticus, doesn't migrate south. It doesn't burrow deep underground for warmth. Instead, it simply surrenders to the cold. As autumn fades, this frog seeks shelter beneath a blanket of leaves on the forest floor. Snow falls, temperatures drop, and something remarkable begins. The frog's body temperature plummets. Ice starts to form, not inside its cells, where it would cause catastrophic damage, but in the spaces between them. Up to 65% of its total body water turns to ice. Its heart slips into a prolonged biological pause, conserving every last unit of energy. Breathing halts. Brain activity drops to extremely low energy-saving levels. Metabolism grinds to a near standstill. The frog becomes a solid, rigid form, what scientists sometimes call a frogsicle. Yet this is not death. It's freeze tolerance, a controlled state of suspended animation known as cryobiosis. The wood frog can remain this way for months, enduring temperatures as low as -5 degrees Fahrenheit in the far north, or repeated freeze-thaw cycles in milder regions. But here's the terrifying part. What protects its delicate cells from being shredded by razor-sharp ice crystals? The secret lies in preparation. As winter approaches, the wood frog's liver ramps up production of natural cryoprotectants, substances that act like biological antifreeze. Glucose floods the system, drawn from stored glycogen. Urea, normally a waste product, accumulates as the kidneys slow. These molecules lower the freezing point inside cells, draw water out to form safe extracellular ice, and stabilize proteins and membranes against the stress of freezing. The result? Cells shrink but remain intact. Vital organs are shielded. The frog enters a profound pause, waiting for warmer days. And the wood frog is not alone. Across the animal kingdom, other masters of the cold employ similar strategies. Insects lead the way. Many species, from beetle larvae to certain flies, survive being frozen solid. Some produce glycerol or other sugars as cryoprotectants. Others control ice nucleation so precisely that crystals form harmlessly outside cells. Even a few fish, like certain Antarctic species, use antifreeze proteins, though true freeze tolerance, surviving internal ice, is rarer in aquatic environments. And then there's the painted turtle hatchling, buried in frozen soil, enduring sub-zero temperatures with its own suite of protective mechanisms. But among vertebrates, the wood frog stands out as the champion of extreme freeze tolerance. How does it pull off this impossible feat, and what happens when the ice begins to melt? Stay with us on Animal Lover Planet, because the thaw is even more astonishing. Picture the moment freezing begins. The wood frog's skin senses the cold. Ice nucleates first in the body cavity and beneath the skin, safe zones away from delicate cell interiors. As ice forms outside the cells, water is pulled from within. Cells dehydrate, shrinking dramatically. But thanks to those cryoprotectants, glucose reaching concentrations that would be toxic in most animals, urea building up, the remaining intracellular fluid becomes a thick syrupy concentrate that supercools without freezing. This is colligative protection. Dissolved molecules disrupt the formation of ice lattice. Glucose and urea bond with water, preventing deadly crystal growth. Specialized proteins may even stabilize cell membranes, preventing rupture. Metabolism shuts down almost completely. No oxygen is needed. The frog switches to anaerobic pathways briefly before everything quiets. Energy use drops to undetectable levels. It's as if time itself has stopped for the animal. Scientists have discovered that in subarctic populations, the most extreme, frogs accumulate even higher levels of urea in autumn, priming their systems. When freezing hits, the liver unleashes a final surge of glucose, distributing it via the blood before circulation ceases. This isn't random. It's an orchestrated response, honed by millions of years of evolution in harsh northern climates. But cryobiosis isn't limited to amphibians. Insects like the woolly bear caterpillar or certain midges endure similar states. Tardigrades, those microscopic water bears, can enter cryptobiosis, including cryobiosis, surviving temperatures near absolute zero in labs, though in nature it's often combined with dehydration. The key difference? Freeze-tolerant animals like the wood frog allow controlled extracellular ice, up to 2/3 of body water, while protecting the intracellular world. Imagine your own body doing this, your blood turning syrupy, your cells shrinking but holding firm. The silence inside, no heartbeat, no breath, yet life preserved at its core. What scientists discovered next shocked even the experts. These animals don't just survive. They recover perfectly. Spring arrives. Sunlight filters through melting snow. Temperatures rise above freezing. The thaw begins from the inside out, the reverse of freezing. First, the core warms. Ice melts in the blood vessels and organs. Glucose and urea concentrations drop as metabolism restarts. The heart, silent for months, flickers back to life. In lab studies, it takes just 20 to 30 minutes after thawing begins for the first beats to return. Blood flows again. Breathing resumes in shallow gulps. Within hours, the frog blinks, moves, and eventually hops away as if nothing happened. No long-term damage. No cognitive impairment. The frog breathes, feeds, and lives on. How? The cryoprotectants help reverse dehydration as water flows back into cells. Antioxidants and repair mechanisms, upregulated during preparation, fix any minor stress damage. The process is remarkably efficient. Repeated cycles? No problem. Wood frogs endure multiple freeze-thaw events in variable winters, emerging each time unscathed. This resilience inspires wonder. Nature has engineered a system where life pauses, not ends, in the face of extreme cold. On Animal Lover Planet, we marvel at this ingenuity. These creatures remind us how adaptable life truly is. But what if we could learn from them? The study of cryobiosis isn't just about frogs and insects. It's a blueprint for human innovation. Researchers examine how wood frogs mobilize glucose without toxicity, hoping to improve organ preservation for transplants. Today, organs last hours on ice. Imagine extending that to days or weeks, reducing shortages, improving matching, saving lives. Insights from cryoprotectants, like glucose analogs modified to avoid toxicity, are being tested for cryopreserving tissues. Antifreeze proteins from insects inspire frost-resistant crops or medical hypothermia treatments. For space travel? Suspended animation concepts draw from these animals, pausing metabolism for long journeys. Yet we must distinguish. These are future possibilities, grounded in ongoing research, not certainties. Ethical questions arise, from animal welfare and studies to human applications. Still, the potential is profound. Nature's solutions often outpace our own. Why only certain species? Evolutionary pressure in unpredictable cold climates favored this extreme adaptation. Most animals migrate or insulate. Few evolve to embrace the freeze. What limits it? Energy costs of preparation, risks of imperfect thawing, only the hardiest survive. As we reflect on Animal Lover Planet, we see nature's deep intelligence. These animals don't defy death. They redefine survival. In a world of constant change, they teach us resilience, patience, and the beauty of adaptation. So next time you walk a winter forest and hear the crunch of frost underfoot, remember, beneath the leaves, a tiny frog waits, frozen, silent, alive. Life endures. And that's the greatest wonder of all. Thank you for joining us on Animal Lover Planet. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What natural marvel should we explore next? Until then, keep loving the animals and the planet that sustains them.